Hello. Hi, you lot. How are you doing? I hope you can hear me on my audio. I was worried that I'm suddenly going to be on the normal computer audio. So I hope you're all well. I know that Eve's here but can't message in the chat. But if you want to message us in the chat to say that you're here, then that's nice because I know who's here. And I think Zoe might be here. She said, and Kathy, that's nice. Great. So, yeah, Kathy's here and well. Fantastic. So, yeah, if there's anyone I haven't mentioned who's here, that's just, yeah, as I say every time, it's nice to know because it means, yeah, I can think of you while I'm doing my class. You're in my thoughts as a particular person. I'm getting because I can see myself. It's quite horrible. I can see I'm getting hair neurosis. Hi, Emma. Lovely to see you. Fantastic. And we've got Fiona. Wonderful. Great. So nice to see you all. Okay, darlings. Just in case, I have a feeling someone's dropped off who said she's here. I'll just message her and say, are you still with? Right. Okay. Not with you. I just wanted to message her to make sure she knows. Yeah, she's here. Okay, great. It keeps because it jumps down to 3 to 6, so it feels like people have suddenly left, but that will just be to do with internet and stuff probably. Okay, so I will get back onto the mat back there and get started. And yeah, hoping you're all well and happy and all the rest of it. So I'll just sort that out. Pretty much. Sorry, just trying to get this webcam in the right place. There we go. There we are. Okay, that will do. Enough mucking around. Okay, so hopefully my audio is going to last the whole time because I've just seen that it's actually, this one is a bit low on battery, so hopefully it'll be fine. Oh dear. Do let me know if it cuts out. Okay, so find yourself in a comfortable seated position. And we'll just put, a blanket or a cushion or anything underneath. And then start by, let's take a moment to bring ourselves present into the yoga space. So your mat, your area that you're going to be practicing today. And start by noticing your exhale, how you're lengthening the exhale and it gently softens your muscles. And then begin to take note of your inhale. How there's a gentle lengthening through the spine. It's so subtle, it doesn't need to be very, very much of an adjustment at all. Just a very soft elongation from the base of your spine, in between your sit bones at the back and your sacrum. as if you're breathing in space between each vertebrae. And allowing the softening gently back down as you exhale. So there's still a lifting, but feeling the softening of all your side muscles, your rib cage area, all the muscles around your spine. That is gently softening back as you exhale. And of course, your shoulders and your brow, your jaw. Try to soften your eyes as you exhale, so your eyelids all the way around your eyes. Your lips. And the back of the neck. Notice as you breathe out, as you soften the back of the neck, as a natural lordosis there, so a natural curve. And then let's begin together our practice with arm vibration 3 times. Breathing in. And then gently opening your eyes. And then taking a exhale over your left shoulder. So you're looking over your left shoulder. The shoulders are relaxed and soft. Inhale forward. And exhaling over your right. Gently inhale and exhale. So taking 3 on either side. It's just as if you're looking over your shoulder without moving anything else in your body. Stretching out your neck. Following your deep breaths. Allowing the breath to guide the movement. Bring your head back to center. And then gently moving the ear down to the shoulder, and the shoulders really relax. So you can just allow the shoulder to completely relax. Inhale up. And then over to the side. Perfect. Really feeling into how you are this morning. So taking 3 on either side. And going as slowly as you need to. But if you want to be going faster than this, that's fine as well. Wonderful. And let's bring our neck curls in. So looking down. And then taking the head back on the inhale. Being careful of the back of your neck. So you might be going over like a rainbow. Being careful. And then exhaling down. Exhale forward. Inhale as you open up. And then exhale down. And going super slow if you need to. So 3 on either side, 3 either direction. And then if you're ready, you're going the other way. So with this exercise, the movement is just coming from your neck. So your shoulders are fairly still, like everything else is still. You're just moving your head around. And so you're keeping your back in the posture that you were before. So it's as straight as your back naturally is anyway. And then lifting up your head. Wonderful, good. And lifting up the shoulders and gently rolling them forward. And then backwards. And really moving as slowly as you need to. It could become quite dynamic now because you're thinking, ooh, I want to warm up my body. Maybe you've been for a cold waterfall splash this morning. I'm just wondering if Zoe's done that. And then lifting up the shoulders and down. I think I've got up for 2 minutes in the shower now. Cold shower. James is up to 5 minutes. I think we're desperate not to get Alzheimer's. Deep breaths. So lifting and just allowing it just to completely flop down. Lovely. That's great. That's quite strong, actually. Okay, so bring the arms out and then across the body. So the right arm is going into the nook of the left elbow crease and drawing in your shoulder. Deep breaths. So really breathing. You can start to engage your Ujjayi breath if you know it. So that's the throaty ocean breath, where you're slightly constricting the back of the throat. Great for clearing nasal passages, I find. And then the other way. Lovely deep breaths, really focusing on the breath. The breath is seriously helpful for calming the nervous system. Wonderful way of starting the day, engaging your deep, full breath. And then releasing down. Fantastic. Bring the arms out and having a flick. So flicking your hands with the arms straight and then slowly bringing the arms up so they're coming above the head. Stretching through the side body and then down in front. Strong forearms, strong upper arms. Lifting up, that can be quite full on. There's quite a lot, so if it's too much, do take a break. And then forward, keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed. Over to the side. And rest. Give them a shake. That's great. Okay, and if you need to take a break, to stretch your legs and point and flex your feet, because we've been here for a little while. And then we'll take a side stretch. So coming over to the side. I'm just going to have to take my necklace off because it clinks with the audio. And then lifting up and over to the other side. Lovely. So about 3 on either side. You might have done some more than me because I was doing something else for a moment. And then bring yourself back up. Fantastic, that's great. I'm going to release my blanket now because I find that it's helpful to do that. So let's bring the feet together. Lift up and we'll come into Baddha Konasana. I like this one as a morning stretch, or beginning stretch to the practice as well, because it's just, you can be quite gentle and just go as far as you wish. It's great for the beginning at the end, and you can always check out how much further down you go at the end. Really using the breath to guide you. So there's an inhale, on the inhale there's a lengthening, and on the exhale there's a gentle softening. And so it will be whatever feels good for you. I've got my feet about further away than cobbler, like really when you bring them right in like butterfly, a bit further away than that, but not really far. So I've got my feet about halfway, what I would call halfway from my groin area. But you can have it any which way. It's fine. And generally, the closer your feet are to your hips, the higher up you'll need to be sitting. It's harder to come all the way down. And then bringing yourself up. And then bringing out your right leg and bringing in your left foot in at your hips here or pelvis area. And inhale, lift up, and we'll come again to a side stretch. So stretching over and then gently moving the arm down and taking big circles. So you're stretching over. And then the arm's coming down. That's lovely. Great. You can always lift up, like I'm using my arm to stroke up and down my shin. It's quite nice to have a bit of movement in this. To see what feels good for you today. And then this time, find your place, wherever it may be. And so it will determine where you'll come onto your leg. So it might be that you're up here on your shin. That's fine. It might be that you're further down, just depends. And you might be holding your foot. So in Janushirshasana, looking at the big toe. And you could always use a strap if you've got one. I've got one just there. So inhale, lengthening through the crown, looking at the big toe. And exhale, softening, and you're still looking at your foot. Your drishti is paradrishti, so it's your foot. Flowing with the breath. So lengthening on the inhale and softening on the exhale. And then gently lifting. And then we're moving into a twist. So we're placing the right hand over. And you might want to be far down here, or you might want to be sitting up. That's fine. Then coming over into a twist. It's kind of a nicer twist if you're sitting up a little bit, actually. And then gently bring yourself back. And then take a breath in. And then exhale. Yourself up into Stargazer. So you're placing your left hand down And you've got a straight right leg, and it's going right through your leg, and the straight side stretch. So you've got this kind of, it's like you're going diagonally across, stretching up, right up through your right leg, through your right side, and up through your right arm. And being stargazer, you can look up at the sky. If your neck's okay with it. And then bring yourself back down. Lovely. And then having nice wide legs. Coming into the wide leg stretch. So let's start with inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhale, have a little look up. And exhale down. So this might be something you love doing, and you might be wanting to grab your toes with your peace fingers. I've never been one for being able to go flat on the floor like some yogis. It might be that you're absolutely fine here. This is good. And then gently walking yourself up and placing the right foot in your pelvis here. And then coming into the side stretch. So allowing the hand to find its place. That might be on the ankle or further up. And then taking the side stretch. Lovely, going round. I think I was coming up. That's right. It was nice. There's a bit of a flow, wasn't there? Bringing up the hand up. I like that. Because you get to come up straight and then down. Really breathing, allowing your breath to guide you. Deep, full breaths. Any sighs or yawns? Wonderful. And then bring your hand down, flexing your left foot, and then finding your place on the mat with your hand, and then seeing if you can transfer that to your leg or your foot. See what that's like. And your drishti is at your hand foot. Inhale, lengthening, and then exhale, gently softening. Guided by the breath. So the breath is subtly allowing movement in this posture. Deep but gentle ujjayi. If you found your ujjayi breath. And then so placing your hand maybe around the knee or above the knee, and then looking out over to the side. Lengthening on the inhale, and then gently softening a bit more into the twist on the exhale. Wonderful deep breaths. And then placing your right hand down and lifting up into stargazer, diagonally across, really stretching from your foot, your left foot, right to your left fingers, all the way up your left hand side, and then looking up at the stars. And then bring yourself back down. That's fantastic. Great. Okay, and then we'll come over onto all fours with your hands below your shoulders and your knees below your hips. And let us start with finding our own way. So really with the breath, so being guided by this wonderful life-giving breath. Just find your way that your body wants to move this morning. Becoming aware of your spine. Taking time to notice the muscles that engage as you move. And as you exhale, you can gently lift up the pelvic floor muscles, your mula bandha, and your abdominal muscles. As you inhale, you can let them relax. Especially for women, it's so important to have some form of practice of this every day. Strengthening the pelvic floor. I like the name pelvic floor. I think it's because it reminds me of like the sea, like the riverbed or the sea floor. Is it called the floor? The sea? The ocean floor. Yeah, the ocean floor. It reminds me of like something really special that's kind of hidden, but is like significant and inhale, exhale back. So yeah, so basically you're moving anyway. Now I realise I'm telling you what to do. So move in any way that you want to, and if you want to follow me, you can, because I'm enjoying at the moment in my practice. I'm enjoying these kind of stretching forward, almost like an upward dog, but with the knees down, and then stretching back, almost like a child, form of child. Exhaling back. And then bringing yourself down onto the mat as you come forward. The hands by the shoulders, elbows in at the side. Inhale gently up, bent elbows, opening up the chest into Bhujangasana, the cobra. And then exhale down. And then inhale up. Exhale down. So you don't need to be going as high. If it's just too much, you can just be lifting up like this. In small cobra or baby cobra, low cobra. That's fine. But if you're enjoying going high, for some reason I am at the moment, not always the case. Exhale down. Having a bit of a wake up of the lower back. But if you have any lower back issues, just really take this carefully. That's the last one. Then calm down. That's good. Inhale and then exhale back into child. Deep breaths here in child, relaxing your arms. In fact, if you wish, you can bring your arms behind and come into this embryo position, like a little ball. In kids yoga, we're calling it the sleepy bear. Stretching the arms forward again. And then placing the fingertips down and lifting up your hands. So it's almost like you're cupping your hands like they're spiders. So you might be stretching out your back a little bit. And then inhaling up, looking up, and then turning the toes around, and then bringing yourself back up into a hover. So lifting up the tummy really strong. So lovely strong tummy muscles, and you're hovering here. You might be bobbing up and down a little bit, lifting up your pelvic floor. And then gently coming back onto tiptoes, so you're in an acute dog. Really stretching your legs. And then exhaling. Your heels down, one at a time. So when you're taking the dog for a walk. And then start to walk the feet towards the hands, but let's do it so that we're just taking one big toe length at a time. So we're going really slowly. So your feet are still hip width apart. And you can be looking at your toes and going super slow and starting to bend your knees. Maybe even come up onto your fingertips. Taking this very, very slow walk to the top of the mat. And as your knees are bending a bit more and you're coming a bit closer, start to move your shoulders and your upper back, arms hanging. So you're in like a monkey pose. And just hanging here for a moment. And so it might be that you're able to be touching your hands on the mat and you've got bent knees. I think it's quite good to have bent knees anyway, even if you're someone who can straighten your knees. At the moment, we're keeping it nice and loose. And then if you can, you're bringing your peace fingers around your big toe, pressing your thumbs into your toenails, big toenails. And then inhale, straightening your back as much as you can, and you're straightening your legs as much as you can. It might be that you can't. If you've got long legs or tight hamstrings, it might be that you can't straighten your legs. But if you can, you're straightening your legs, but not locking out the backs of the knees, so keeping them soft and looking forward. And then exhale, folding forward. This is quite a strong Uttanasana stretch. It's actually called Hasta Padangustasana. So Hasta's hand and Padangusta is the big toe. So you're folding forward, holding your big toes. Deep breaths and exhaling, allowing the stretch. A little bit more, breathing into the stretch. And then inhale, lifting up flat back. And then if you can, if it's okay for you to do this, place your palms underneath so your feet are standing on your palms. So the backs of the hands are next to the mat. And this one is Pada Hastasana. So Pada's feet and Hasta's hand. So feet on hand pose. Or feet to hand pose. And so looking up as much as you can and then exhale, folding forward. So again, you might be having bent knees. And if this is not okay for your lower back, then do opt out of it. So this is quite a stretch. Just really, really depends on your body, what it wants today. Allowing your head to hang and your shoulders to be relaxed. So the main thing is the rest of the body is pretty relaxed. And this, ideally, is quite an enjoyable posture. So bending the knees, and then bringing the hands to the hips, and then gently bring yourself back up. Whoa, that might be quite strong on the lower back. So just feel into that. That felt really good for me, but it might just check in if it felt okay for you, because it was strong. Okay, so then let's widen the legs a little bit and just move from side to side and bring a bit of fluidity into the practice. So we're letting our body release any tension that might have built up from a held posture like that. One way, then the other way. That's great. And then we can bring in swinging and twisting. So moving from side to side. Bobbing the knees. Yeah, being careful of your knees to make sure they're not going in the wrong direction for you. That's great. And then start to reduce the movement. And bringing the feet back so that they're hip-width apart. So the outside edges of the feet are in line with the mat. And then lifting up your toes and then placing your little toe down. And then the fourth toe. And then the middle toe. Then your second toe. And then your big toe. So nice and wide, soft. So they're not gripping the mat too much. Lifting through the arches of the feet. With your hands at your heart. Feeling a lengthening from the crown, maybe with a golden thread lifting you on the inhale. And softening the shoulders on the exhale. Gently tucking in your belly a little bit. And we're going to come into skier. So lift up is a bit of a dynamic one. So strong out breaths. So lifting up the hands, bending the knees, and bringing yourself down. That's great. So remembering you're lifting pelvic floor and abdominal muscles on the exhale, so you're protecting your lower back. That's great. Wonderful. And then lifting up and then coming down into Utkatasana. So gently tucking in your tummy and tilting your tailbone, tucking your tailbone. And bring your hands up. This is chair pose. Being careful of your lower back. Strong belly, strong pelvic floor. Deep breaths, soft shoulders, eye gaze straight ahead. Your arms are parallel with each other. And then lifting up. And bring yourself down a little bit more if you can. Otherwise, staying where you were. So like you're sitting back onto a chair. Well, you're about to. Not quite there yet. For some reason, you've got your arms in the air. Who knows why? Really, the main thing is keeping your focus on your abdominal muscles and your pelvic floor muscles, which will protect your lower back. And then inhaling up and bring the hands back down to the heart center. Lovely. That's great. Okay. And then bringing your legs wide, but about so that they're in line. Maybe your wrists are in line with your ankles. Right, about that. And then bringing your right foot out and your left foot in about 15 degrees. We're actually going to come into triangle. I know it's not your favorite, Eve, but we're just going to do it. Hope that's okay. So bending your knee slightly, bring your arms out parallel with the mat. Inhale, bring yourself forward, and exhale, finding your place and straightening your knee. Be your here at your calf or just below your knee somewhere, and lifting up the left hand, the left arm towards the sky, and the right arm is going down towards the earth. So you might be here, you might be down at your ankle, you might be feeling quite flexible today, and you might be having your hand down by your foot. Just depends, but you're keeping, can you see how, do you see my alignment? It's I'm not kind of slumping forward or doing anything like this. So if you'll find that you're doing something where you kind of end up having to fold forward just to make it down, that means being up here is the right place. And you've got these angles. So you're able to open up this hip so that your chest, belly are all facing forward as much as possible. And then gently bring yourself back up. And we'll have a little flow of our warriors. So similar stance, but a little bit wider, warrior 2. So bending the knee, you can see the big toe on the inside of your knee. The foot is about, 15 degrees still. So bring your arms out and warrior two. So you're looking out over your front arm. If you're doing the same as me, it's your right. Lifting up pelvic floor, mula bandha. And looking forward. Some deep breaths. That's lovely. And then turning around the right hand and then bringing back into peaceful warrior. And stretching the right side of the body. Deep breaths, remembering you're guided by your breath. Your breath is helping you soften any areas that can be softened. Softening down heel around here, softening your neck, softening this left arm and shoulder. And then there's a strength. Every time you exhale, there's a strength in your belly and your mula bandha. And then you'll bring yourself forward and we'll come down into Pajvakonasana. So you're resting very gently here on your thigh. Opening up the shoulder, the top shoulder. So you're, if you feel like you're slumping forward a bit, opening up. And ideally, you're kind of like again, a bit like stargazer. You're a horizontal, No, not horizontal. Not vertical, not horizontal. I said it before, didn't I? Diagonal line going across. And then bringing yourself up. And then this is quite strong on the leg. We're doing a lot on our leg. So if you need to have a rest, have a rest. Then opening up the chest, clasping behind. And then gently bringing yourself forward. That's great. And allowing your arms to come over. And they might be going even over your head, like above your head to see what that, it might not be like that. They might be back here like this. It just depends on your shoulders. And if you notice your feet are gripping the mat, just lift them up and soften them. And on the back foot, you can roll back onto the outside edge of the back foot so you're not collapsing. And then bring yourself back up. So good. Well done. And then releasing down and facing the front. Whew. Bring the hands to the hips. And if you know you need blocks or light blocks and you want anything, because we're going to come forward in Pasarita Padottanasana and lift through and then bring ourselves forward, you might want blocks down there. So see how that is. Or something like blocks, like books. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, soften. Again, you're slightly rolling out onto the back of your feet, so lifting through the arches. Exhale, fold forward. There's an even weight on your feet. Lifting up on the inhale, from navel back to spine. So that's your belly drawing up. And just breathe deeply here. Allowing the breath to guide you. Allowing the breath to soften the areas that don't need to be engaged right now. And then inhale, looking straight ahead. Bend the knees slightly, bring the hands to the hips. And bring yourself back up. Wonderful. And then turning the left foot out. And the right foot is doing the little 15 degrees in thing. It's only like warrior two and things like that where you're, and pyramid where it's like 45 degrees. You're turning it a lot. So this one, we've got it just in a little bit. And then we're going to do our Trikonasana on this side. So you're not quite as wide as the warrior. You can be kind of a little bit in, a little bit further. And so you can bend your knees to begin with, opening up the arms. Exhale, forward, or inhale forward is probably the best, and then exhale as you come down, and then lifting up. So really feeling the lengthening on the top arm towards the sky and the lengthening the bottom arm towards the earth, and finding your place. And if it's down here, that's great, but you're still able to open if it's down here. And if it's up here, that's great too. So you're just anywhere that's right for you. So deep breaths. Feeling the lengthening from both sides. And then gently lifting up, bring the arms out. And then widening the stance a tiny bit, bending your knee so this over the ankle. And you can see your big toe on the inside, so you're opening up here. Opening up your thighs, your hips. Arms nice and long, parallel with the mat. Lifting up Mula Bandha, your root lock, and looking out over your left arm. Strong Virabhadrasana 2. And then turning around the left palm, and then coming back into peaceful warrior. Deep, full breaths, relaxing the right side of the body. You see that? You can almost do this. That's how relaxed it is. This arm. Just holding it with integrity there, but it can be nice and soft. And then coming forward, resting just a little bit, so you could even lift up. You don't need this arm. You could be doing this. Just resting it there, supporting yourself a little bit. And coming into Pajva Konasana, side angle posture. Pajva is side. Kon is angle. Asana is posture. Trikonasana, 3 angle posture, triangle posture. And then gently bringing yourself back up. Bring the hands behind, opening up the chest. And exhale, folding forward, so you're coming inside the left knee. And then allowing your hands to come up as far as they want to, above the head or wherever they go. Stretching out your shoulders. Remember to lift up your root lock here, keeping yourself nice and strong. And then inhale, opening up the chest. That's lovely. Bring yourself forward. Whew, strong. Goodness me. We've been there for ages, haven't we? Okay, we're getting right. I was just getting so into it. That's the thing. Okay, so bring yourself forward here. Whew. And we will come into, I'm not going to do a full balance today, but we're going to come into a like goddess pose or something. So we get to have a bit of a balance. So really engage your abdominal muscles, pelvic floor, lifting up the right leg. Bring your hands into Chin Mudra. So that's your thumb and forefinger together. And then bringing down the right leg. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. This is actually Fierce Goddess, the one where you lift it, do this. Inhale up, so really engaging. Down. We do this in pregnancy yoga and get really quite wild. And you can hold your mudra wherever you wish. Inhale up. And then exhale, coming down into a squat. So yogi squat with your hands at your heart. And if you need blocks under your heels, that's quite useful if you're used to, if it's more difficult and you're up on tiptoes like this. Being here in the squat, that's nice. And then gently make your way down onto the mat. And just have a little water break. I just find they're quite strong, those standing postures. And then bring yourself down. That's nice. Okay, so I'm just thinking of something nice to do. Maybe we'll come into, we're being a bit traditional today because we've had some quite a few traditional postures, so which is good. So let's come into Ardha Matsyendrasana. So we'll bring the knee, so the right foot is in at the left hip, and then the left foot is in at the right thigh. And so lifting through the crown of the head, and it is your left knee that's facing up towards the ceiling, the other one's pointing in front of you. So inhale, lifting, exhale, softening the shoulders. Inhale, and then exhale, you're either wrapping around and placing your left hand behind, like doing this wrap here, or otherwise you're levering yourself around. And we do this one quite often, so it's quite nice to do the same ones, fairly regularly, because you can see progression. And you might choose to do something a bit different for a while, like you might go, oh, I've done the wrapping for a while. Now I'm going to try the levering, and it's a little bit further, you're going a little bit further. And then, of course, you can do what I don't practice very often, so I do it when I'm doing this with you, coming into the bind, where you bring your right arm underneath and your left arm around and clasping the right hand. And you can kind of train yourself into bind if should you ever want to do that with strap and things, you can have the strap helping. So any way you're doing this, there's a lengthening on the inhale and a gentle softening a bit more into the twist on the exhale. So there's the deep, full breaths. So remembering your Ujjayi breath, keeping you lengthening and softening. Inhale and then exhale, look back to center. Then take a breath in and then undo the bind to your back. Lovely. And have a little exhale over to the right. And bring yourself back. And then lengthening the legs for a moment. And point and flex. That's great. Nice. And then doing it the other way. Left. Oh, so funny. I make it much more complicated by trying to tell you. Okay, I'm going to quickly do it. Right foot, left hip, left foot, right thigh. No, is that the right way? I've just done it the same way again. Okay, so left foot, right hip, right foot, left quad area, thigh area. Okay, so inhale, lengthening, and then exhale, coming into your hugging the knee. I can't remember what it's called again. I've just suddenly forgotten. And then lifting, or you can do your levering here, or you can do your bind. So inhaling and then exhaling into the twist. Lovely. wrapping is what I was meant to be saying. This is actually, I've taught this posture for however many years I've been teaching yoga, which is quite a lot now actually. And it feels quite a few. And I get it wrong every time pretty much. For some reason, this one scrambles my brain. Or I have to really think about it. So remembering there's a lengthening on the inhale and then there's a softening on the exhale. And if you are binding, it's the left arm is going through, in front of, and through the right leg, underneath the knee, and then your right hand is clasping it. It's less relaxing, put it that way. And bind, so you might want to pick something a bit more relaxing. Feeling the lengthening, and then gently exhale the head back to center. Breath in and exhale yourself back to center. It's wonderful. Inhaling and then exhaling over to the side. And then gently bring yourself back up. Lovely. And let's bring up the knees and we'll lean back and we'll just rock from side to side. That's lovely, great. Okay, so let's come onto our backs. So far my audio hasn't run out, thank goodness. So let's just hope it stays for the next half an hour. And then we'll bring the knees into the chest and have a little rock from side to side. And then bring your hands onto your knees. We'll inhale, the knees open, and exhale, closing them together. Inhale them open and exhale, closing. That's lovely, good. Lovely, that's nice. And then the other way. Lovely, gentle breath. And yawning is good, so if you feel like you're ready for a yawn, have a yawn. It's wonderful. And then bring the right knee in and stretch out the left leg. And then you can flex the left foot and exhale the right knee in. Inhale, allow it to move away a little bit. And then exhale, stretching in. So you're bringing it so that it's kind of heading towards your armpit rather than coming into your ribs. And then lifting up the left leg so that the knee is pointing the ceiling. And then cross over the right leg so that the right ankle is on the left quad area. And then bring through your right arm so that you're coming through the two legs, both your legs in between, and then clasping behind. So drawing in. So this is our reclined pigeon. So we're stretching out the hip, the right hip. If you need a bit of a shake of the leg, I know that I do actually. You need to shake my leg and then place it down again. That's always good. And if you like it a bit stronger, you can bring your Hands on the outside edge of it's your shin area, your left leg. Deep full breath, that's nice. And then placing down a leg and stretching out your right leg, flexing the foot and bringing in your left leg, your left knee. So you're exhaling it towards your armpit. Inhale, it can soften away a little bit. And then exhale, drawing it in. It's lovely, good. And then planting your right foot down, the knee is facing the ceiling, and then crossing the left ankle over the right quad area, and then drawing in. So the left arm is going in between your legs, and then clasping behind your thigh, your right thigh. And then bringing clasped hands, if you want to, just keep it here, that's actually really strong and that's fine. Otherwise, if you want to, you can bring your hand on the outside, your hands on your right shin. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning, it's because I'm lying down now. Deep breaths. So really enjoying this stretch. And then placing your legs down and bringing your legs out and stretching right up. So right from your fingers to your toes. That's great. And then bringing your, it doesn't mean, you know when people say like yawning means you like assume it's like you're bored or something. I'm not bored at all. It's just for some reason the lying down, like I think my nervous system has become so used to just like lying down yoga. So it's actually like probably a good thing, maybe. I don't know. It means that my parasympathetic is happily engaging, relaxing. Okay, so we're going to come into bridge. So place your hands down by your side, but we're going to start with pelvic tilt. So taking a breath in, then exhale, lifting your pelvic floor up and pressing your lordosis in the back of your lumbar spine back into the mat. And so your navel is going back towards your spine. So you're drawing in your abdominal muscles. That's all you're doing. Then you're exhaling down, taking inhale when you're up. So we're going to inhale when we're down, and we're going to inhale when we're up, and we're going to exhale on the movement. So breath in, exhale, lifting. You're keeping your knees so that they're hip width apart as well. Inhale, and then exhale down. And either a soft ball or a block can be useful for that. Take a breath in, exhale. Breath in, exhale down. So remember, it's really subtle, and you're lifting up the pelvic floor. And for a man, so if we have men here, it's in between. It's your perineum, which is in between your male organ area and your anus. So it's in between there. That's your pelvic floor area. Breath in, exhale. up, breath in, exhale down. And for women, it's all the muscles and the lining of your vagina, your birth canal. Okay, taking a breath in, and then we'll gently bring yourself up to the rib cage. Take a breath in and gently place each vertebrae down, so your lumbar spine back onto the mat and then back to neutral. Inhale, exhale, drawing yourself up to your lower ribs. Inhale, and then exhale down. So imagine you're peeling one vertebra at a time off the mat. Inhale, exhale, coming up to your shoulder blades. So you're going up a bit further now. Inhale, and then placing one vertebrae down back onto the mat. Inhale. Exhale, peeling your spine off the mat. Coming up to your shoulder blades again. Breath in. Exhaling down. That's great. Inhale, and then exhale up, and we'll come up to our shoulders. So we're actually coming up into bridge. We're going to stay with our flow for a little bit. Inhale, and then exhaling down, placing one at a time onto the mat. Lovely. Inhale, exhale, coming up into bridge pose. I actually find it easier without this in at this point. And bring yourself up, and then clasping underneath if you wish, and having a few breaths here in bridge pose. So you're keeping yourself lovely and strong. It's great for your muscles in your bum and your legs. Keeping your knees hip width apart. That's why I had the block. Your feet hip width apart. Looking straight ahead above you, your beautiful ceiling. I've got the most exquisite ceiling ever. Anyone who's been in, well, probably Sistine Chapel probably beats it, to be honest, to be fair. But it's quite an interesting ceiling. If anyone's been in the Angel Hall. Inhale, and then gently bring yourself down, and then draw in your knees and have a little rock from side to side. That's great. And then placing your feet down, bringing your arms out, lifting up your hips, and then bringing them over to the right-hand side about 2 inches. And then draw them in. So either come over from there, and that's a nice twist. Otherwise, draw them into the chest and move over. And it's it's a twist you can slightly adjust a little bit more, because you can place your hand on it and draw it over. And then looking out over your right arm and relax. So feel full relaxation of this twist. Deep breaths, but really, or gentle breaths rather than, they can be deep, but actually just, I think, releasing the breath now. So we're getting to that point where we're just like, can relax. And then exhaling, bringing yourself back up, bring the hips back in. So you're back at neutral, and then over to the other side. So you're over to the left, a couple of inches, and either moving the knees over, and that's lovely. Otherwise, drawing the knees into the chest and over for a slightly stronger twist, and then placing the right hand, if you wish, onto your left knee area and looking over your left arm. Deep breaths, or soft breaths, I should say. Really relaxing into the twist. And then gently bring yourself back on the exhale, realigning your hips. And then drawing your knees into the chest. Have a little rock. And then bringing your feet up to meet your hands, and you can come into happy baby. Straighten the legs if you like, just have a bit of a wide leg stretch. And if happy baby is something you really like, you can just play around here for a little bit. Imagining yourself carefree on the changing mat. Back in the good old days. And then releasing the legs down and bringing the feet together and the knees apart in to Supta Baddha Konasana. So Supta is reclining. Baddha Konasana, so bound angle posture. Baddha being bound and angle is kon is ankle. Just teaching you Sanskrit yoga names today. And really releasing and feeling your nervous system gently. I don't know if you can hear that, but the cleaner's outside. We have a cleaner for the hallway outside. And she's vigorously hoovering. So yeah, really relaxing and allowing your whole system to just feel completely at ease without any pressure of needing to do anything or go anywhere. And then you can gently move down into Shavasana, unless you particularly want to stay up in Supta Baddha Konasana for a bit longer. And the Shavasana, the arms are by the side, completely relaxed. Your legs just spread out and relaxed. And of course, find warm things to wear. So socks. I'm just going to grab my jumper. Socks, jumper, hat, scarf, mittens. Whatever you need. And just finding yourself completely comfortable and relaxed. So your body is totally free to rest in this deep peace of relaxation. Your whole body is relaxed. So really noticing where your peacefulness lies. Noticing how you are and where your inner deep peace is resting. So that might be in your heart. Just as a warning, my audio might turn off. So it's actually quite good timing because you could just rest for a while if it does turn off. So finding that place, whether it's in your heart, or in your belly, the crown of your head or your third eye. Feel the point of peacefulness that spreads out from that place. And illuminates over your whole body. Notice your hips beginning to relax and feel cradled by the mat. Notice your legs fully relax and soften in this peace. Feel your lower back and your lower belly. Completely still, held, supported. And just above your waist and around your mid-back and your rib cage. It's a gentle relaxation and a heaviness. Wonderful, relaxed heaviness. Around your chest and your heart, your shoulders and your shoulder blades, upper back. Completely restful. Complete ease. And down your arms, fingers and your hands. They're heavy, wonderfully heavy. Feeling your neck and your throat. And all the way around your jaw, your lips, the deep, peaceful restfulness. Across your brow and the back of your head, the creases between your eyebrows, and across your eyes. Softening your forehead. Total relaxation. Complete relaxation from the crown of the head. Got white light moving from your crown, covering your whole body. Wonderful stillness. You're wonderfully relaxed. Gently held nurtured and supported. Your whole body is relaxed. Walk slowly. It only takes a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still, and just like that, something in me settles, softens, makes space for imperfection. The harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper, and I remember again that life isn't a relay race, that we will all cross the finish line, that waking up to life is what we were born for. As many times as I forget, I catch myself charging forwards without even knowing where I'm going. That many times I can make the choice to stop, to breathe and be, and walk slowly into the mystery. Walk slowly. It only takes a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still, and just like that, something in me settles, softens, makes space for imperfection. The harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper, and I remember again that life isn't a relay race, that we all will cross the finish line, that waking up to life is what we were born for. As many times